And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It is Canon Planning right here on both Facebook and YouTube. Last week, we talked about the art of the brain dump, how you do that, what you are going to get from doing it, what are you going to get if you don't do it, and likening it to what my children like to refer to as a dump. I can't sometimes. I have 3 boys. They are 20, 18, and 9, and bodily function, this is what we do. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So you guys, today we are going to be talking about the importance of an organized task list. And I can't wait to dive into this because I have really been loving the Declutter Your Mind insert. Has been one of my favorite ones to really dive into and take a look at and use on a daily basis. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go along. And we're also going to be talking about 4 different styles of organization. And you can use one, you can use none, you can mix and match whatever to your heart's desire. But I'm going to talk about 4 distinct ones that all have and serve a purpose depending on how your brain functions, how it works, and how you choose to use it. But the whole point is to take your brain dump that you did last week or daily or however you do it and get it into an organized fashion. We're going to talk about a couple of reasons why that's important. First of all, it prioritizes what matters. So what matters to you? Is it getting your work done? Is it finding a balance? Is it feeling like you can check things off of your list? Whatever it is that matters to you, it helps you to prioritize that based off of what you did to clear that mental clutter. The second thing that organizing a task list helps you do is to reduce stress, right? The whole point and purpose of doing a brain dump is to clear the mental clutter so you have some clarity. And now we're going to reduce some stress by organizing it based on what really needs to get done and what can wait for a later date. And the last one is it increases your efficiency. What would it take for you to be able to sit down, look at your list and go, okay, I know this needs to be done, and you can immediately put one foot in front of the other? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today in categorizing your to-do list. So I want to dive in first into using different categories. So one of the best ways with organizing your task list is to color code. Now, I've brought some color coding tools with me. We're going to use them in just a minute. These are Zig Clear Color Dots. I've posted a link above of all of my favorite color coding techniques and products, and so you can check those out. But we're going to talk about specifically how you can utilize these for organizing. And one of those ways that you can do is you can organize your brain dump into a categorized list. Some of the items that you might have on your list are 1, work tasks. Do the things that you have on your list have to do with work? Are they checking your emails? Are they a big project? Are they home tasks? Laundry, dishes, taking out the garbage. Maybe you're doing a fall decluttering session and that's part of the list. Is it a personal task, something that you need to take care of for you? Scheduling a doctor's appointment, running to the grocery store, those kinds of things that are personal for you that you need to take care of. And then the other thing is self-care. And friends, if you do not put you in your planner, you're missing a huge opportunity for you to take care of your number one asset. And especially if you're following me as a direct seller, you will know that I will talk about this many, many times over. There is no business without you because you are the independent consultant, brand ambassador, whatever you are for your business. And without you, there's no business, right? So you have to make sure that you schedule time for you because it's super, super important to take care of you. So this is the first way that you can organize your task list. You can put it into one of those categories: work, home, personal, or self-care. The second way for you to be able to organize your task list is using the Eisenhower Matrix. So I want to share a graphic with you really quickly. And this is what the Eisenhower Matrix consists of. It has 4 quadrants, and the top of the quadrant is for urgent, and the bottom is not urgent. And then on the left, if you're looking at your screen, it's non-important or important, okay? Depending on how you are looking at it. So we're looking in that first red square, we're looking at something that's super urgent and important, so it needs to get done. It's on a time limit and you need to get that done. Not urgent, not important means that you are probably not going to have to worry about getting it done at the current moment because it's not super, it doesn't really have value. It's just something you would like to do. The next one is not urgent, not important, or excuse me, urgent, but not important. So it's something that it needs to get done and it has a time limit. And this is probably something that you could delegate to somebody else because it's not super important for you to be the person to do it. And then the other one is that it is not urgent, but it's important. So, however you look at that, it is an opportunity for you to be able to determine how you can get things done. And we're going to talk about those specifically using our color coding opportunities here in just a few minutes, but I want to get through the other organizing tactics. So the next one is using the 12-week year framework. Now, if you have read the 12-week year, you know how important it is to me. It is something that I use all the time when it comes to creating my goals. I don't necessarily utilize the time blocking efficiencies that come with this unless there's something super important that I really need to dive into, and then I will go ahead and utilize this time blocking efficiency. So the first thing that you're going to do when you're talking about your time blocking is you're going to include a strategic block. Now, a strategic block is something that is, and I just want to make sure that I tell you all the right things because, again, I don't dive into this one a whole lot. So strategic is a 2 to 3 hour block for you to set your goals. And this allows you to be able to, this allows you to be able to set some really focused time frame for you to work on a specific task. If you are doing a 12-week year, this is probably where you are going to be really diving into working on something specific for your business. So if, for example, if you are working on a Pinterest goal, this is where you're going to dive in and you're going to do some scheduling. You're going to get in and like really get your boards under control. You're going to think about how you can fill your boards. You're going to think about what blog posts you can add in that specific time, but is super hyper focused. The next one is a buffer block. And a buffer block, you're going to have a couple of these throughout the day. These are where you're going to check your email, your messages, you're going to respond to people, you're going to create content, those kinds of things. That's something that you're going to find happening in a buffer block. And then the last one is a breakout block. And this is rest and relaxation. Friend, you need it. It is your self-care time. Make sure that you're scheduling it into your schedule. So those are some different ways that you can utilize your task list when you're looking at it. Is it a strategic block? Is it something that can go in a buffer block? Or is it something that can be considered part of your breakout, part of your self-care? All right, the last one, and one that I probably use the most because acronym trade is mine. I created it. And probably the thing that I use absolute most when I am putting together and organizing a brain dump. So the T stands for top 3. So what is it on your list that you need to get done today? What is it that you need to accomplish? What is it that needs to get done and out the door? Is probably one of those urgent, important tasks that you need to take care of, something that you would color code in red. Again, we're going to go in and do that in just a second. The next thing is routine. These are the things that are going to be like 5-minute tasks for you. Throwing your clothes in the laundry, making your bed, sitting down and writing your plan for the day, all tasks that can be done fairly quickly. These are easy tasks. Those would be considered green. Something that you could really dive into, get done in a quick amount of time. They're kind of fun for you to be able to do because they take your schedule along it's a no-brainer. You can just get it done in a timely manner. And then the next one is action. What on your list is the next action? So once you've completed your top 3, these would be your yellows. You really kind of have to contemplate a little bit. How can you get them done? You need to put a little more thought process into them. And these would be, again, considered your strategic block. You have to do a little bit more planning with them, but it's going to build some action and help you get more done for your goal, whichever you're moving to. D stands for delegate. This is, again, those urgent tasks that are not necessarily important that you have to do, that you can delegate to somebody else. If you have small children, husbands, friends, things, teammates, others that can help you particularly get a task done, this would be something that you could delegate. Now, I want to spend a hot minute on this one for just a second, because delegating is probably one of the things that people skip the most, because they think, oh, especially me as a type A personality, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right. Well, that's neither here nor there, right? But what you are doing, especially if you are in direct sales and you have a team, and you have the ability to delegate a task to another leader, if you choose not to do that, you're taking away an opportunity for them to learn a new skill. So even though it may not be done exactly how you want it to get done, it is getting done, and you are not having to take your time to do it. And you are allowing them to learn a valuable lesson, whatever the lesson happens to be at the current moment. So please take time, especially if you're in direct sales and you are a leader and you have a team, to take time to delegate tasks to people below you in the food chain, or in your compensation, or in your compensation plan, or in your corporation, that they can learn something so that they can grow to be at your level, or gain those skills that will help them get to the next level in their business. Okay. I just wanted to take a hot minute to talk on that one. All right. The next one is eliminate. And this is probably the one that holds the most value for me as a direct seller. When I am working on a particular project, there might be things that I want to put on my list that I want to do right now, but it doesn't fit into my current plan. Now, when I say eliminate, that doesn't mean eliminate and never do it. It means eliminate it. You don't need to do it right now. So take some time and set it aside. If you have a do later list, which I do have one in the back of my journal, anytime that I come up with some fun projects that I want to incorporate, or maybe I was in a training, but it's not necessarily in my lane right now, this is something that I would add to that list, and I'm going to eliminate it. It might be bouncing around and taking up headspace right now. And I'm going to just go ahead and write it down anyway when I'm doing my brain dump. But when I'm organizing, it's going to find its own space to live, not where I'm currently working. Now, if you do have something that continues to pop up and it continues to take brain space, maybe it's time to evaluate. And I could put it /evaluate right here, because maybe it's time to reevaluate what your priorities are and what you're working on, and how you might be able to fit that specific thing into your next organization. All right. So I want to take a few minutes, and we're going to actually take a look at my list for today. And I'm going to share with you how I organized it based off of the Eisenhower Matrix, which is utilizing three colors. So this is, and I already copied it and moved it over here because I have it on a working page with notes about customers on the other page. So I wanted to be able to have a clear slate. So this is my current Monday to-do list. When I sat down to do my planning this morning, this is the list I came up with. So I have Monday minutes, update our Harmony Hero website, Wonder Woman News, which is a team newsletter, do the notes for this live that you are currently watching. Vendor Vault, I needed to do guides, emails, and get invites sent out. I have an event coming up this week, and I needed to send out messages, put together a showcase, and utilize her wish list. I had a P&J blog post, so the Art of Planning and Journaling. The next one was just released today. And so I wanted to get that blog post up and running. And then for content, I have Instagram, TikTok, and stories that I needed to work on, as well as do some follow-up and an accountability post. All right. So I'm going to look at my top 3. These are the things that need to be done right now. Like, they have a time limit. I need to have them done today. So when I'm looking down my list, I'm going to say, oh, Wonder Woman News, that's a Monday task. That has to be out on Monday. The notes for this particular video that you're currently watching, yes, I needed to get those done before I got to this live today. So that was kind of important. The other thing that I needed to get done that was also important was I'm working on a Vendor Vault event, and I needed to make sure that these 3 things were taken care of today, because we're on a schedule and I like to stick with the schedule. Now, sometimes you're going to have more than 3 things. And in that case, I want you to really think about what are the top 3 things that you personally have to do. And what are some things that maybe you can delegate to somebody else on your team that may not necessarily be things that you have to do right this second. So what I would do is I would come over here and I'd be like, okay, many of these things kind of have a time time that I need to take care of them. I'm going to show you in the way I got completed with them. So the first thing I did this morning was my Wonder Woman news. And the reason for that is I needed to have it go out before 12:30 today because it had a link to a Zoom call that we were going to be doing. So that needed to go out by 12:30. The next thing is I put together vendor vault information because I wanted the people participating in the vendor vault to be able to get their invites out, and they were waiting on me to get them some information. So I needed to get that out. And the last thing that I did was put together the live notes for this video that you guys are watching. So I actually was able to get all three of those things done in a timely manner. So I'm going to go ahead and just cross those things off. The next thing that I looked at were what are some things that I can do quick and easy that won't take a lot of time in my day. First of all, Monday Minutes. This one's really easy. It's a copy and paste of the calendar for the day. I post it for the team. Updating the Harmony Hero website. That same thing that I copy and paste for Monday Minutes goes onto the Harmony Hero website so that they have access to it. So those things I knew were going to be super simple and easy to do. The last thing was my follow-up. What I do for my follow-up is just check to make sure that I didn't have any orders come in over the weekend. I checked bases, making sure that those all made it to the correct party link. And then I sent out follow-up messages for those orders. So those are three quick, easy things that I can do. Let me tell you the order that I did those. So I did do Monday Minutes. And I did update the HH website. And these two things right here, or at least Monday Minutes, were actually part of the Wonder Woman news. So after I was able to do those, I put it here and I put it here. So they were in three different places. And then the last thing was follow-up, because that was going to be super simple and it was something that I could get done in a quick manner. So those three things are actually done for the day. The next three. Okay. These are the next three things that I needed to do, but I needed to put a little more thought process in before I was able to do them. So the next thing was sending a message to Joyce, and I needed to get her information for her wish list so that I could create her showcase. I did get that message sent out. It was a little bit more like I really had to think about how I wanted to present it. And then I actually have a graphic and things that I needed to put together afterwards. So that was also something that I needed to do. The next thing that I needed was I'm going to do all three of these together because these are all under one thing, under content. So I went ahead and did those things next because I was like, okay, I've got to get my Instagram reel created, which includes stories, and then I'm going to post my TikTok. Quick actions. The other thing was an accountability post. I needed to do the accountability with my team, which I did, or with my membership group, which I did in a video, but I needed to create a graphic. It wasn't going to take me a whole lot of time, but it was something that I needed to do the next steps. So these are the next things that I got done. So I did get my message out to Joyce, and I did create my content, and I was able to do my accountability post. Okay. All things that needed to get done. These were urgent, but not necessarily important. I needed to get them completed today because they're part of my content plan and things. Now, down here at the bottom, there is a place where I have a blank. And this is where I'm going to put 12-week goal. Because the things that I do inside this to-do list have to do with my 12-week goal. And you will see that there are some things on here that are not crossed off. And that one thing that I have on here is P&J blog post. So I actually got this done today as well. And on top of getting this done, I was able to schedule that to Pinterest. And Pinterest is currently my 12-week goal. Okay. Now you're going to look at this list and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did you get all of that stuff done today? Well, friends, this is what organizing this list does for me each day. I don't have to go, oh, I'm not sure what I need to do next, because I can look at that list and be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And I just do this until I'm done with it. Then I do this until I'm done with it. And I do this until I'm done with it. If I need something that's a little brain break, so maybe for instance, I did the Monday minutes and this first, and then I put that into here because I kind of had to have those things done. But it's just looking at your list and trying to determine what is it that I absolutely need to get done for my business today. And one of the things that you're going to learn in incorporating organization is that you're going to be able to find a balance between your business and your personal life. The first thing that you're going to do in doing this is you're going to set boundaries. This just allows you to be able to really make clear definitions about how you want to spend your time and who and what is most valuable for you. Again, delegating those priorities. The next thing is using a separate planner or insert. So I use a separate insert for my brain dump and my organization than I actually use for my business, because it allows me to really have a holistic view of what I want to accomplish over the course of the time. And then the last thing is I schedule time for self-care. And at the end of my day, I make sure that even if I haven't completed all of these things, that I'm making sure that I take time to take care of me, because without me, there is no can and plan, and there is no opportunity for me to show up for my business. So these are all super important things that I want you guys to think about when you are organizing your task list, whether you are using a category system, whether you're using the Eisenhower Matrix, maybe you're using the 12-week year time block system, or you're utilizing trade, whatever the case may be. I want you to take some time to really think about what that means for you, for your business, and for your personal life in getting that brain dump organized. Friends, if you are in the market to build goals, develop habits, and manage your tasks, I'm Cannon Plannon, and you can follow me for more tips, tricks, and all things paper planner related. And I'll see you guys all next Monday. Bye, friends.